Oh, hey there. I just finished eating some margarine. Oh, it was good. I have a friend who can't have milk. I think about him a lot. I remember one time we were using margarine to bake up some like cupcakes or whatever. I added a special ingredient to the cupcakes. Allegedly, But we were going to a rave, so I thought I'll be the guy who brings the special cupcakes. And he was, he had one cupcake himself. He had made himself one special cupcake that we had made like one with like a dairy-free substitute, right? Because he can't have milk, so he made himself one edible cupcake with no milk in it. And so you know how it takes a while to hit you. So we eat it like as we're on the car right there. You know, GPS tells us we'll be there soon. So like, we'll be ready to party by the time we get there. So we get there and it's this rave in a cornfield, right? And it's just like everything like out of the movies. You know what I mean? Like there's people with glow sticks and there's like a DJ and there's like girls walking around with no shirts on and stuff. And they got like body paint. We're like, what? You know, because we were only like 19 at the time. This was blowing our minds. Like, people can party like this? Like, oh my God. And as the party's going on, we eventually break off, because at first he was like, he was like, can you please stay with me? I don't know anyone here. And I was, but then I saw these girls with this hot body paint on. And I was like, hey, you want me to touch up your back? And so, I went off with them. And he was left alone. Apparently what happened was, apparently he tried to hit on a girl too. And apparently, I think she was trying to, I don't know what was happening, I don't know what happened, but I think she was just trying to ditch him and he didn't get the hint. She said, yeah, sure, why don't you go out in the corn maze, just walk to the scarecrow, I'll meet you there in a little bit. And she's like, and I guess he was like, okay, and he actually did. And then, I don't know how long he was waiting there. But as he's waiting there, it's like I make my edibles very potent. The potency hit him all at once. And so he's standing there staring at this scarecrow. And he looks around and he can't figure out which way he came from. He got lost in the cornfield. So he was scared and he just starts crying and screaming. He's like, Rob, save me, Rob! And he just runs into the cornfield in the completely wrong direction. He runs out of the cornfield, hops a barbed wire fence, and into another cornfield, which was apparently owned by the neighbors or whatever. And I think he ran, or at least, I don't know what happened, but he ended up like 3 or 4 miles away. I don't know if he ran the whole time or took breaks to walk. He always did have that athletic side to him, you know what I mean? Like, he had that cardio. But he ended up on the other people's property, and it was a dairy farm. And I think he saw, like, a house, and he was like, oh, cool, I can go in this house, ask for help. And he goes and he knocks on the door. He opens it up when no one answers, and it's like one of those, like, rooms where they keep all the milk. And there's just these big, like, jugs and containers of milk just everywhere. And he's like, what the hell is this? The next thing he knows, these 3 buff farmers come out. They're like, you're a milk thief, ain't you? You came here to steal our milk. And he's like, no, I don't even drink milk. I don't touch milk. I don't touch it. Maybe they would have been a little more sympathetic if he had just been open. Like, look, no, I'm sorry, I'm high, and I can't even drink milk. But the way he was phrasing it, like he just thought, I need to get them to think that I wasn't trying to steal the milk. So what does he do? He starts talking about how much he hates milk. Milk is awful. It's disgusting. I hate it. No, I wasn't trying to steal your milk. I'm just lost. I hate milk. And these guys, these dairy farmers, they took offense. Like, oh, you don't like milk, huh? You're too good for milk, city boy? And apparently they threw him inside of a potato sack and began whacking him with stuff. Like, they don't know what it was. He says it felt like baseball bats, but I later found out it was actually just like, they're actually just whacking him with like what are those called? Like, you know when you unwrap a present, the cardboard tube, they're whacking him with the cardboard tube. He just thought they were baseball bats. Because, he doesn't have that muscle on him. He's just that little weak boy who doesn't have milk. Because I ended up talking to the dairy farmer. It's actually a buddy of mine. It's funny how like the story tells, because like my friend was high, so he thought these dairy farmers were serious and trying to kill him, but they were just messing around because they knew who he was. They could tell he was high. But apparently, like they were having fun until he shit his pants inside the sack, and then they felt bad because he started crying. So they were like, "Oh, what do we do?" It's like we just got to cut our losses. So they tied him out of the sack, and they brought him on the back of their tractor, and they drove him back to the rave, and they were like, "Now get out of here!" And he was just so traumatized, he just curled up underneath the car and started crying. And the thing was, it turns out I had heard him crying, but I didn't realize it was him. See, I was in the car at the time because I was fooling around with those chicks. And like I feel so bad. I wish I had known he was. Why did he decide to sleep under the car? Because that thing was rocking all night. He probably could. It probably was the worst sleep of his life. But anyway, I had a great time at the rave. But for my friend, it was just another event in his sad, sad life. And that's really sad.